Hey, I'm Zach March, and today I'm going to be talking on behalf of my co-authors about our paper, Eflow Projector, Assessing the Performance of Environmental Watering. So, first of all, the problem. Well, we've quantified the environmental watering requirements for most of Australia's streams, but how do we report performance against those watering requirements? Well, existing approaches for assessing environmental water performance are very harsh and usually just a binary pass-fail approach. And the problem with this is that the environmental value of mostly or partially meeting a flow requirements is not well handled at all. And so the solution to this is through a project with the Victorian Environmental Water Holder and Alluvium Consulting. We've developed a partial success reporting approach, which we then further developed into a generally accessible tool called the Eflow Projector. You can see on your screen there. So a little bit about Eflow Projector. Well, ultimately, it gives us a way to report flow rule performance against flow data. So it has heaps of use cases. Obviously, the main one here is the partial success reporting approach, but also, it allows historical reporting, it allows eFlow contribution reporting, it allows you to look at the success of, hypothetical model release strategies, the speed of the tool compared to manually checking rule performance. There's a lot of use cases, but having a further look at partial success, well, we think about the success of a flow rule as a combination of up to 4 different flow components. So that's magnitude, duration, frequency, and count, depending on the rule type. Now, with Eflow Projector, each of these different flow components has their own partial success table that can be customized at a flow rule level. So we'll have a look here at, these are the defaults from the view reporting. So we have defaults overall at a scenario level, and then each flow rule you can customize, for that flow rule to, specifically target the purpose of that flow rule. But just to give some meaning to all these numbers and charts. So for example, if we look at the freshest magnitude, you can see a 0% target, 0% success, 25% target, 0% success, and then 50% target, 10% success. So what we're saying there is, if we wanted 100 megaliters a day, that was our target. We're saying that once we get at least 25 megaliters, that's when we start considering that somewhat successful. 25 to 50 megaliters is only 0 to 10%. And then, furthermore, same concept with all of these, duration, count is just linear. So we wanted 10, we got 5, that's 50% success. Anyway, we did an investigation into, the effect of this partial success approach, and we used 171 flow rules from the 2019-20 view reporting, and then just using those for the partial success, we use those default ones above. So we considered 4 different success criteria. So classic, so no climate, binary, classic but with climate, Eflow Predictor, which is kind of a precursor to Eflow Projector, which had linear success on duration and count, but binary on magnitude independence with prevailing climates. And like I said, the partial success tables in this previous slide with prevailing climates. And it's worth mentioning this was all done in the Eflow Projector app, so super flexible. Having a look at the results of that, you can see that there is across the board really significant and consistent increase in success with partial success tables, higher in every single category. But if we have a bit of a closer look, what's interesting in Western low flows, you can see with classic, there was no success at all. Whereas with partial success, we had 60% success. So you can just see how big a difference partial success can make in terms of, overlooking the environmental value of mostly meeting a flow requirement. With a classic approach, binary, you'd think there was no success at all, but in reality, there was success. That there was success there, and just because it wasn't quite at the level desired doesn't mean that there wasn't some use of the rule, the water. Anyway, overall, so Eflow Projector and a partial success reporting approach allows us to assess and report performance against watering requirements. It gives us flexibility, as you see, which means insight into the environmental value of mostly meeting requirements, like on the last slide. And then additionally, the tool, there's many use cases, and the speed of it, you can run hundreds of rules across 60 years in a matter of seconds. It just gives a lot of potential use. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this presentation, took something away from it, and if you're still interested, take a look at the paper for some more detailed analysis.